Okay, so good morning all. I think you know that we have started the chapter number 1, that is per unit representations, per unit quantities representation and its topology. We have started this chapter 2 days back. So in that aspect already we have completed the single line diagram and the expressions for deriving the new per unit impedances of the components which we have used in our power systems. Okay, and similarly we have seen the how to draw impedance diagram from the single line diagram. So impedance diagram is the diagrammatic representation of the you are going to replace all the standard symbols with its equivalent circuits. Okay, so that impedance diagram is very much useful for analyzing the power system behavior in the load flow analysis. Okay, in the load flow analysis we are using this impedance diagram. Now today we are going to see one more diagram, that is reactance diagram or per unit impedance diagram. Now this is very much important for this particular chapter and as well as the subject also. Every time whenever we have given a single line diagram, obviously you are asked to draw or you are asked to sketch the per unit impedance diagram, or you can also call that as reactance diagram, right? Now today I am going to explain the concept of the reactance diagram or per unit impedance diagram on the whiteboard, not on the PowerPoint presentation. Just go through this. So reactance diagram, please all of you try to join the session before 5 minutes of the commencement of the class. Suppose if the class is at 9 o'clock, obviously you have to be in the waiting room by 8:55. If the class is at 10 means obviously you are in the waiting room by 9:55. So at least you try to join. Okay. So reactance diagram, or you can also consider this as per unit impedance. See, this causes a lot of disturbances to the class. That's why I have waited for 5 minutes, 11:05. I have started the class by 11:05. I have waited for 5 minutes for the remaining people to get joined. Every time you are trying to join, admitting you people into the class becomes difficult. Why? Because I'm the only one person who handle the class for 150 people, right? Please try to understand my problem also. Per unit impedance diagram. Please try to remember this. This is a very, very important concept. Reactance diagram or per unit impedance diagram, both are same, but impedance diagram is different. All these diagrams are comes from single line diagram of the power system. That is the only thing you need to remember. Now, in order to draw the reactance diagram or per unit impedance diagram, we have to consider some assumptions. Now, what are those assumptions? That is also very important, right? Now, omit those assumptions are omit all static loads. This is only for your reference. I am writing the content only for your reference, right? If you want, you can write down the concepts what I am going to teach on the whiteboard. You just try to write down at somewhere else, right? Please try to maintain a separate notebook for this particular subject. Omit static loads. Okay, so in this case also I am trying to sketch the reactance diagram or per unit impedance diagram of the single line diagram what we have considered for the last two classes. Okay, again I am considering the same single line diagram, and for that single line diagram I have used or I have obtained the impedance diagram. Now I am going to obtain the reactance diagram. So the first one is omit all static loads. You will have two static loads that has been already denoted in the single line diagram itself. So static load A and load B. Second one is omit. Omit means just avoid. Omit all the resistances. All the resistances. Okay, I think you have some knowledge regarding the impedance diagram. Why? Because yesterday only we have seen that impedance diagram. In that impedance diagram, each standard symbol, that means generator, load, transformer 1, transmission line, transformer 2, and generator 3, and the load we have represented, and we have replaced all these static standard symbols with the equivalent circuits. Okay, so in that particular single line or from the this reactance diagram can be obtained from impedance diagram can be obtained from single line diagram. So all these are interlinked. Suppose if I have given you the single line diagram, then it is possible to draw impedance as well as per unit impedance diagram also. But while drawing this per unit impedance diagram, you must have these assumptions. So all the shunt branches, sorry, shunt branches of transformers. Okay, just we are omitting all these cases. Now you see, omit all static loads, omit all the resistances, omit the shunt branches of a transformer, comma capacitors in transmission lines. Transmission lines. Okay, so in order to obtain the reactance diagram or per unit impedance diagram, these are the assumptions. So first of all, we have to omit all the static loads, we have to omit all the resistances, we have to omit the shunt branch of a transformer, and we have to omit the capacitors of the transmission lines. So if we are considering all these cases and consider the impedance diagram what we have drawn in the last class. Now I'm drawing the per unit impedance diagram here. You just go through this. So this is generator 1 section. Now I'm drawing generator 2 section. Now after that you will have one more parallel branch, that is static load, but as far as the assumption is concerned, we are omitting the static loads. Okay, just you forget about that. Now this is transformer 1. Next one is transformer 2, transmission lines. Next one is transformer T1, and this is T1. So now see here, generator 1 section, generator 2 section, transformer 1 section, transmission line section, and this is transformer 2 section. Now again you will have one more parallel branch, that is static load B. But already as far as the assumption is concerned, in order to obtain the per unit impedance diagram, you have to omit all the static loads. So already we have omitted static load A. Now in this particular case we have omitted the static load B also. Now you will have one more generator unit here. Now you just compare. So this is the overall per unit impedance diagram of the single line diagram what we have considered for analysis. Yesterday we have seen the impedance diagram also. So what is the difference between the per unit impedance diagram and the impedance diagram? In the impedance diagram you will have the resistances also, but in the case of reactance diagram you will have only the reactances. That is the only difference between this per unit impedance diagram and the reactance diagram, right? Now this is for generator 3 section. Most of the times at least one set of question paper contains this as a long answer question. Okay, explain the following terms. Explain the single line diagram, per unit impedance diagram, and per unit quantities representations. So these are the four important topics you need to learn, and you need to get more knowledge from the this particular chapter, right? And one more thing. See, I have considered one single line diagram, and for that diagram only I have obtained impedance diagram and I have also obtained the reactance diagram. But I am not insisting you people to take the same example. You need to consider your own example. You take the textbook, you will have a lot of problems, and you need to consider any single line diagram, and whatever may be the single line diagram you have taken, and that can be used for obtaining the impedance diagram and as well as the reactance diagram. Okay. Clear? Now, so this is about the reactance diagram and per unit impedance diagram. Now, today is a very important thing is we are going to draw, we are going to do some problems based on this per unit representations. Please try to concentrate on the problems. Why? Because this is completely, so you will have only 2 theory questions in this particular chapter. The remaining are problematics. Okay, the remaining are completely problems. So please concentrate on the problems. Now I will go with the by considering simple examples, and later I will take the complicated problems and we will do the analysis for that complicated systems. Okay, please try to cooperate with me. You just don't go anywhere. Please try to note down the problems what we have discussed in the online classes, right? So these will be helpful. So if you have any doubts or if you have any misunderstandings regarding these particular concepts, you can clarify those when you come to the offline sessions, right? Now see here, problem number 1. So the first problem is, problem number 1 is find the per unit value. Please note down. Please note down the problems in the notebook, okay, and do the solutions in parallel with me. Find the per unit value of 0.06 ohms with respect to primary and secondary side of a transformer. With respect to primary and secondary of a transformer. So this is what he has given, and you are asked to determine the per unit value of this is, see, whenever the units are see, one important point is in this particular per unit representations is whenever we are seeing that values, if the values are expressed in terms of ohms, okay, in terms of kVA, in terms, you just visually just by seeing the units you can say that those values are actual values of the circuit. Those are not per unit. So if you want to express or if you want to determine the per unit value of a specific component or the equipment you have used in a power system, then obviously those units are in terms of per units. Per unit are in terms of percentage. Now see, I will do the problem. Now problem is not complete. So this is the theory you have been given. Now the circuit is already given. Just wait a minute. See, this is a transformer. So in the transformer, this is the primary winding. Now I am drawing. Now this is a secondary winding, right? Right. So this is the basic problem what he has given. Basic problem what he has given, and still the problem has not been completed. Now here the this is basically a transformer. So in the primary winding you will have some value that what he has given, that is 0.06 ohms. Now 0.06 ohms reactance has been connected in the primary side of the transformer, and you need to determine the per unit value of the same 0.06 ohms with respect to primary side and with respect to secondary side. So he has mentioned the power rating of the transformer also. So 2.5 kVA. 2.5 kVA. Now the turns ratio is already given, that is 110 by 440 volts. Right? Now see here, problem is now completed. So this is the overall problem you have been given, and for this you are asked to determine the per unit value of 0.06 ohms with respect to primary side and with respect to secondary side. So for that purpose you have been given the ratings of the transformer. The transformer power rating is given 2.5 kVA, and the voltage ratings of the primary winding and secondary winding is already given. Now the solution starts. Okay, now please note down this problem, and the solution is also very important. Okay, sometimes directly you are getting these type of questions for 4 marks, 5 marks. If your fate is very good, means obviously you will get the same question for 7 marks also. Okay, that's all depends on your fate. So that's why we don't want to take even a single or a simple problem. We don't want to leave. Right? Now the problem is actual value of the impedance what you have been given is the actual value. So actual value is is equal to 0.06 ohms. 0.06 ohms. Now case 1, what you have been asked to determine, you have been asked to determine the per unit value of the same 0.06 ohms on primary side. At the same time, what happens if we are shifting the 0.06 ohms to secondary side, and what is the per unit value of the same parameter on the secondary side. Now the first case is primary side. We are going to calculate the per unit value of the 0.06 ohms with respect to primary side. Right? Now Z actual. So before going to that, first please let me clarify what are the formulae you need to remember to calculate the per unit value. So we know that Z per unit is equal to, so as per the basic definition of the per unit value, Z per unit is equal to Z actual by Z base. Z base. Now how do we obtain Z actual? So Z actual is already given. So Z actual value is equal to Z actual is equal to 0.06 ohms. Okay. Now you need to determine what is Z base. So what is Z base? How can we determine Z base? So Z base is equal to Z base is equal to KV base. Already we have derived all these expressions. KV base square divided by MVA base. KV base square divided by MVA base. Okay. Now what is KV base? The base voltage of the primary side, primary winding. So the base voltage is given by 110 volts, but that you need to express in terms of kilovolts. So if you convert that 110 volts to kilovolts, obviously you will get a 0.11 square, right? So 0.11 multiplied by 1000, you will get only 110 volts. So KV base square. So that's why I have taken 0.11 square. Okay. Now, what is MVA base? Already he has given the power rating is expressed in terms of KVA, but we need to express the power rating is in terms of MVA. So that's why I have considered that as 0.0025. Okay, 0.0025 MVA. Okay, if you want to convert this MVA to this KVA, just you multiply that with 1000. So what you will get if you multiply that with 1000? Obviously, you will get 2.5 KVA. 2.5 KVA. So if you determine the ratio between 0.11 square divided by 0.0025, you will get 4.84 ohms. 4.84 ohms. Now, in order to obtain Z per unit, you will have the information regarding Z actual and Z base. Already you know that Z actual is equal to, so Z per unit is equal to, Z per unit is equal to, what is Z actual? Z actual is 0.06 ohms divided by, what is Z base? You will get 4.84. Now obtain the ratio between these two. What do you will get? What is the final answer? I think you will get 0.0123 per unit. Now see here, units are also very important. Units are also very important. Now just take a look at this problem. First of all, you have been given a problem and you have been given a transformer. So for that transformer, I have connected 0.06 ohms. That is the actual value of the reactance on the primary side. I want to obtain the per unit value of the same resistance with respect to primary side and with respect to the secondary side. So if we want to calculate the per unit value of 0.06 ohms on the primary side, now these are the methods, or these are the steps you need to follow. So Z per Z actual is 0.06 ohms, Z base is equal to KV base. So these are the general formulae. Okay, you must remember all these formulae. Without using these formulae, you cannot do even a single problem in the chapter number 1. So Z base is equal to KV base square divided by MVA base. So now KV base is equal to 0.11. Why? Because the problem itself has given that the voltage, rated voltage of the primary winding is only 110 volts. So if you want to obtain KV, now convert that volts to KV, you will get 0.11 square divided by KVA base is given. Now obtain MVA base, you will get 0.0025 MVA. Now after obtaining Z actual and Z base, substitute that in equation number 1. Now what is the equation number 1? So Z per unit is equal to Z actual by Z base. So if you consider 0.0006 divided by 4.84, you will get a 0.0123 per unit. Yesterday, we talked about the advantages of per unit values representation. So in that, the third advantage is, what is the third advantage? The per unit value of the transformer is same, even though if you consider either primary side or secondary side. Now we are going to prove the same. How the per unit values are same, even though if you transfer the same value to the secondary side. Okay. Now this is about the primary side. You just remember that per unit is equal to 0.0123. This is with respect to primary side. Now we are going to see with respect to secondary side, right? Now second case 2 is secondary side of the transformer. Consider the secondary side, right? Now again use the same formulas. Z per unit is equal to Z actual by Z base. Now Z actual is different in this particular case. Why? Because basically 0.06 ohms is connected in the primary side. If you want to shift this 0.06 ohms connected in primary to the secondary side, obviously, okay, the approach is different. Now what is the approach? 0.06. If you want to shift the same to the secondary side of the transformer, now this is the case, N2 by N1. So 44 by 11 whole square. I think you have sufficient knowledge regarding these transformations in machines. There is a possibility of shifting the same value to the secondary side also, but definitely you must require the information regarding the turns ratio. Now the turns ratio can be obtained like this. Now secondary side, if you want to shift the same value to the secondary side, now this is the actual value. Now multiply 0.06 with the 4 square, that means 16, you will get 0.96. So this is jet actual. Now what is jet base? What is jet base? So jet base is equal to kV base square divided by MVA base. Now what is kV with respect to secondary? So 0.44. So 0.44 square, 0.44 square divided by 2.5 kVA. So that is 0.0025 MVA. Now what's the value? If you simplify this, you will get 77.44. 77.44. This is jet base. Now obtain jet per unit. So jet per unit is equal to jet actual by jet base. Now what is jet actual? So jet actual is 0.96 divided by what is jet base? 77.44. Now determine the value of jet per unit here. So what you will get? You will get the same answer. So 0.0123. So the justification of third advantage of per unity has been done. Okay, the per unit value of the component is same either side of the transformer. Either side of the transformer. Okay, so 0.06 ohms is the actual value of the component that what he has connected in the primary side of a transformer. The per unit value is 0.0123. Even though if you shift that 0.06 ohms to the secondary side of the transformer, you will get the same answer. Now see how simple it is. But the only thing is you need to remember the formula that what we have used. The two important formulae in this particular case is you need to remember the basic definition of jet per unit, that is equal to jet actual by jet base. Second one is jet base. How do we determine the base value of the impedance? That can be obtained by taking the difference between kV base whole square divided by MVA base whole. Right? Please note down this problem at somewhere else. I will give you 1 or 2 minutes time. Later we will do another problem that is also very important. Okay, most of the times you are getting that problem directly in your university question papers. How, that is the importance of this particular chapter, per unit representations in the power system analysis. Definitely you may expect even 1 or 2 direct questions from this particular subject in your GATE exam. I will give you 1 or 2 minutes time. You just note down this problem. Later we will do another problem. See, don't absent for the classes. Try to attend the classes regularly so that you will get some idea. These are interlinked topics. If you miss the one topic, obviously it is not possible to understand the next topic. Why? Because that has been interlinked to the previous topic. Offline classes, it is okay. Why? Because every time I am going to repeat the same concepts what we have discussed in the earlier classes, but that is not possible in the online sessions, right? Please quickly note down this. We need to complete one more problem in this class. Okay. Now the problem number 2. So before going to that, first of all, I need to erase all these things. Now just I want to extend the same problem. You see here. Uh, right. Find the per unit value. Find the per unit value of 300 ohms. 300 ohms in section A, comma, section B, comma, section C. In the following circuit. Sorry, in the following circuit, right? Okay. Now next problem. Okay, just wait a moment. Now in this case, you will have two transformers. Okay. Now this is the circuit. So this is section A, this is section B, this is section C. Now 300 ohms have been connected in section C. So 300 ohms. 300 ohms is connected in this section, and the transformer turns ratio is given by 2:1, and this has been given as 1:10. Okay, Now this is 10 MVA. The rating of the transformer is 10 MVA. Voltage is already given, that is 13.8 by 138 kV. Now 10%. That means this is the per unit value of the impedance of this first transformer. Now, so same, the ratings of the second transformer is already given. So 10 MVA, and this is, as I already told you, that whenever you are connecting two transformers in series, the primary secondary voltage of the first transformer should be connected to the primary of the second transformer. Obviously, the ratings of the two windings have been equal. So this has been given as 69 kV. 69 kV, and the percentage is given by. Now this is the problem. So with this, the problem has been completed. Now see the problem once. Find the per unit value of 300 ohms in section A, section B, section C in the following circuit. Now that circuit consists of two transformers with the two different ratings, and the voltage levels has been mentioned, the power ratings have been mentioned, and the per unit values of the impedances have been already mentioned. Now see, the 300 ohms is connected in section C. So first of all, you need to determine the per unit value of the same parameter in section C. Later we are shifting the 300 ohms to section B, and later we are shifting the same to the section C. Now one by one, this is completely sequence wise. Now see the solution. See the solution. Now first of all, I am going to measure the per unit value of 300 ohms in section C. So consider section C. This is first one. Section C. So what is the actual value? So Z actual is equal to 300 ohms. That already we know. Z base, how can we obtain Z base? So just similar to that of the earlier problem, Z base can be obtained by taking the ratio between kV square divided by MVA base or MVA. So what is the voltage? So 69 here, right? Approximately you will have 69. That is what he has given. Z base is equal to kV base square divided by MVA base. So 69 square divided by, what is MVA base here? So 10 MVA. Now divided by 10. So what you will get? You will get approximately 476. Okay. Now Z per unit is equal to, you just obtain the ratio between Z actual divided by Z per unit. So 300 divided by 476. This is a very, very important problem. You may expect the same problem if your fate is very good. Directly for 7 marks. 300 by 476. So if you simplify this, you will get 0.63 per unit. Now we need to prove the same per unit value, even though if you determine or if you change 300 ohms with respect to section B and with respect to section A also. Let us wait. Let us have a look how these values of per units are equal. This is for section C. Now for section B. Second one is section B. Now Z actual. How do we define the Z actual? So basically the actual value is connected in section C. Now please do remember that we are shifting 300 ohms to section B. Now in order to determine the actual value, first of all you need to multiply the actual value with the turns ratio. So turns ratio is 2 by 1. Here we are shifting 300 ohms to this side. Obviously you have to consider n1 by n2 whole square. So what you will get? So now it is 1200. So this is the actual value in section B. So Z base is equal to kV base is 138 square divided by 10 MVA. 10 MVA. Now Z base is equal to 19044. Now what is Z per unit? So Z per unit in section B. If you want, you can use the calculators, whether these answers are correct or not. In this case also, you will have 1200 divided by 19044. If you find the per unit value by considering the ratio between these two, you will get 0.63 per unit. If you want, you can verify that. If you want, you can verify the same. So in section B also, again, you will get the same answer. Again, you will get the same answer. Now, as far as section A is concerned, section A, now we are coming to section A. So Z actually is again different. So obviously, 300 ohms have been already shifted to section B. Now again, one more step is also there. So 300 multiplied by, first of all, you need to convert this 300 to section B. So 2 by 1 whole square. Later that has been multiplied to 1 by 10 whole square. Why? Because one more step is there. So by using this terms ratio, you are shifting that to the second one. So directly you can consider like this, or you can also directly take 1200 multiplied by 1 by 10 whole square. Okay. So what you will get? You will get only 12. Now Z actually is this one. Now Z base is KV base, that is 13.8. 13.8 square divided by, okay, divided by 10. Now what you will get? 19.04, right? Now again find Z per unit. So Z per unit is equal to, in this case also you will get 0.63 per unit. This is a very, very important problem. So in the case of section, so irrespective of the section, whenever in a transformer a particular reactance have been connected in any of the section, the per unit value impedance is same. Okay, so that is what finally we are going to derive. So this is the justification for the advantage 3. Advantage 3. So even though we are using the same transformers with different, widely of different ratings, but the per unit impedance is same. Per unit impedance is same. Okay. So that's all for today. If you have any doubts, you just raise your doubts, or you just put the same in the chat box so that I will clarify your doubts. My sincere request is, you please try to maintain a separate notebook. Maintain a separate notebook, and please note down the problems what we have discussed in the online sessions. Okay, nobody is having any doubts, so I'm going to wind up the session now. Okay, somebody has raised some doubt. I think our class are recording. Why can't we upload our PSC classes in YouTube so that we can? Okay, sure. Somebody has messaged me that, sir, why don't we upload our PSA classes? I want to clear this point what your friend has raised. Now today I'm going to upload the previous classes at the same time today's session also. You can utilize the same. I will post the links also. You can use the links, YouTube links. You can one more time you can listen the sessions, right? Everything is recorded here. Okay, already I have recorded previous 2 classes also. I will give you the links for watching those classes. You can utilize that thing also, right? Don't worry about that. So definitely